Hey, good evening, everybody. Thanks for joining As the Prop Turns. Right on time tonight. This one's for you, Eric. So I got to start the show tonight. Um, Friday turned into a beautiful disaster. I was really upset about the show, but Reese and Connor Langheim, you guys stepped up, took over, and they played host, and they did a fantastic job, earning them Employees of the Month. But I'd like to thank Damon and Mike at Fuel One. I woke up to Saturday morning with you guys sponsoring the show Starlink. So no more glitches in the future. And Fuel One, I appreciate it. As the Prop Turns appreciates it. And all of fans are soon to appreciate it. So thank you guys very much. So tonight's show, I've got Cade Wilson from Sterling Engines. And I've got Joe Sporlick from Lake Wiley. And these guys are with me tonight. And they've been given the opportunity to go overseas and to race in the Cows Turkey to Cows, one of the longest, oldest races in offshore history. So, gentlemen, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having us, Chris.
Thanks very much.
It's an honor. I tell you what, when we were in Michigan City.
And I see. Sorry about that. I was just want to recognize Garrett's with us tonight as well.
Yeah, I'm just here to observe for now.
Go ahead, Joe.
Yeah, when we were in Michigan City, for that race, and then I saw your truck parked out front of the Blue Chip out there. I wanted, how we do the boat signing for our boat. I was wanting to find a Sharpie to go out there and write on the window. Please invite us one day soon.
Business card fucking works. No Sharpies. We haven't wrecked that yet. Okay. How in the hell did two Americans get a phone call and you took one of them to go overseas? This boat?
I'm still sort of pinching myself. I said, it sort of feels like a repeat of being in the Super Cat, and so sort of joked. It's kind of like Ghostbusters, and so somebody asks you if you're a god, you say yes. If somebody wants to ask you want to race a boat, you say yes. And so basically, Rob said, hey, we're doing this thing with Cows Turkey, and he wanted me to come over with Jason and look over a few boats that have Sterlings in them. Talk with Gary Aldington with Eastwood Garage, who's out there, and he's kind of a de facto dealer of ours, and we want to make it official. And so then he said, hey, I might even be able to find a ride for you if you want to get into that. And so we, kind of, how that would look and what we need to do. And his wife, Chrissy, has become fast friends with my wife, Rihanna. And so, yeah, it kind of was one of those where all the stars aligned. But there wasn't a whole lot of asking. It was, hey, honey, we're going to go to the UK now. And, how are we going to do that? When are we going to do that? How are the kids are going to be back at school? Yeah. We'll figure all that out, but we're going. So that's, there you go.
Yeah. With experience, I thought it was a total joke by Rob because, if you know Rob, he's a practical joker. He's a great guy. I'm telling you, he's one of a kind. And it goes back about 2 to 3 months for me. He and I were texting back and forth one day, and he was like, hey, you want to come over to the UK and race? I'm like, Rob, are you serious? I said, I would love to come over there and drive one of your boats. And he was like, no problem. And then a few minutes later, it paused, and he was like, yeah, I got a boat for you to drive. And he was like, it's the crew boat, the support boat. I'm like, all right, whatever. So he got me there about 2 to 3 months ago, and then I got the other call a couple of weeks ago. So here we go again. Rob joking around, and I thought for sure, he was pulling my leg again. And Rob, it's an honor. I would love to go. And I was kind of testing the waters because I was assuming that he was just joking around with me again. I said, but did you see the race? Because I know you were kind of behind us in Michigan City. And he was like, yeah, I was watching the film today, and your driving was horrendous. And then he paused again. Here we go, all over again. He just started laughing, and he was like, would love to have you. You two in the boat would be ideal.
Yeah. When Rob told me.
Is Garrett going to come over and crew chief?
Nah, I get to relax at home for a little bit and watch this all fold out on the internet. It's going to be good for me to just sit back and just kind of see what the heck goes on in the boat when I'm not in it too.
Well, Garrett's got a paternity lawsuit. that starts the same week as we're going to.
Yeah, I was when so two things, I guess. So first Rob's like, yeah, we've got to put you in the boat and I've got to find you a throttleman and da da da. And then he calls me and says, yeah, so do you know Joe? And I said, well, I know a few Joes. Which Joe? And so he says, oh, Joe, support like, and I'm like, oh yeah, I know Joe pretty good. We've become friends at the races. He's like, great, he's going to be your driver. You can throttle, right? I said, I've never throttled. I said, well, you'll figure it out. So I think it'll be really good cross training for what we're doing in the day to day, with the series with How to Live. But yeah, this will be a new experience for me. Have not done this.
Yeah,
but I'm super excited that it's with Joe. Couldn't find anybody better. That's awesome. So
well, Rob kind of said, what it is, K's motor. So he's going to go ahead and throttle. If he breaks him, he's responsible for him. I'm like, no problem.
That's his thinking. Oh, he doesn't know me well enough, apparently.
you guys, I mean, all seriousness though, Cade, you guys are being handed not a real boat, the former Finn's crew. This historic boat dates back to the 90s, got a world championship. Rob's just spent a lot of time restoring it. So,
so no pressure.
How does that make you feel, him giving you
zero?
No pressure.
Yeah, no pressure. Yeah, we're fine. No, it's exciting.
Excuse me?
I mean, but Rob,
I think you said you're going to flip it there.
This year, right?
No. Well, if you really want the truth behind New Orleans, all you have to do is ask.
Yeah. Well, so I think what he was thinking is it's an endurance race. So I think we only have one turn. We go all the way down and then we turn around and we come all the way back. So
that's good for me because I'm telling you, I'm the worst navigator in the world.
Just go west. We can't miss it.
We might end up
can't miss it.
How are you? Are you guys?
To what now?
Are you guys going to go over there and are you going to come out swinging? Are you going to fall in line and are you going to follow the guy in front of you? If Joe's terrible at navigating, what's the plan of the boat? Because listen, this Cows race, for those at home that don't know, what is it? Nautical miles on this? 160?
It's a pretty good distance. I don't know. I should probably have measured it, but I did look at the map and go, okay, due west, due east. I think we can manage that. It goes basically from the Isle of Wight to Devon and back to the Isle of Wight to where Cowes is located, and it's yeah. I won't get it wrong. Kind of what I hear is it's sort of a gentleman's race. The boats sort of stick together for safety. There's no helicopter overhead, nothing. We had to go take sea survival classes, CPR and all this. So it's expect to self-rescue, no one is coming kind of situation. So everybody sort of sticks together within some reasonable sight of each other. And then I guess the last hour or so, people start to push the pace on the way back and look for, finish the endurance race with a sprint, so to speak.
Yeah, and Kate, I promise I'll do my best navigating and keeping it in the straight line. The whole race from this year, we were following Reese up there, so it was kind of easy, following him around the course.
The more wrong turns we take, the longer we get to play in a boat. So
how different
end up out the ball somewhere. Say again.
How different is the Cougar from the boats you both are used to running in?
I'm sure it's going to be quite a bit different. It's a significantly narrower tunnel, so it's not going to pack air the same way. It's not going to be quite as prone to kitings. That said, I still think we're going to, judge that for ourselves. I mean, at least I've never been in it. I don't think, Joe, have you been in this one?
No, I've never been in that kind of Cougar ever.
Yeah. So yeah. Oh boy, have fun. So, yeah, it's
and Joe gave me shot.
Say it. I'm sorry. I apologize.
No, it's great. No, my that just means my wife's going to hear this humor from more than just me.
Yeah,
So, that's awesome. Yeah.
But no, seriously.
No,
I'm used to big cats. I've got a 46 Skater and had a 40-foot Nortec Roadster before the Skater, which was a handful. Yeah, so we're definitely going to give it hell and make it proud. But here's the thing: is we can't win. We got to let Rob ease his way on up there and cross the line first.
That's right. Got to pull it back a little bit, let him get across. Yeah, but I think you're right. I think we're going to see what it can do. I mean, we wouldn't be racers if we didn't push the pace a little bit and see what we're capable of. But we also got to do it, in a way we don't beat up this beautiful, historic boat either. So we don't want to do any damage to it. But I do think that we want to let's just say acquit ourselves well. Yeah.
Well, it's going to be our baby for 200 miles, and we're going to treat her like that, for sure.
Exactly. Yep.
A pistol baby.
Absolutely.
The boat's equipped with Sterling power, so I'm sure you're not going to be afraid to run
Right.
it on up.
No, and they're 750s, so it's a relatively mild calibration on it. It's not massive power. It's enough to get her up and moving, but it's not enough to really. They're not on the ragged edge. Let's say they should be nice and reliable endurance motors.
Okay. So both of you guys, all you guys, even you, Garrett, you guys competed in Michigan City a couple weeks ago. What was that water like in Michigan City in SuperCat and in your guys' class with the factory stock boat? Like, is that water there? What if it's water like that when you get to cows? I mean, what's the game plan then for 200 miles?
It was hell. I'll tell you. I mean, it was very, very rough. I mean, if they do that for 200 miles, you guys are going to need chiropractors as soon as you get there.
Yeah, probably surgeons.
Oh yeah, it's gonna feel like a rugby match. Yeah, they were very rough. I think the thing that was tough about Michigan City, it wasn't quite as big of waves as Coco, but they didn't have a rhythm like Coco did. Coco felt like we could kind of get in a rhythm and ride it out. And Michigan City would just hit you from all sides. You'd be flying flat, and then all of a sudden you're kiting it out, and there just really wasn't a perfect trim setting anywhere. And and when you hit hard. It knocked the fillings out.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, I know Mom ain't happy. They ripped the jacket off the back of their boat. The water's
Oh yeah. No, it's and if we do get that kind of, and I've heard, obviously we're going to be out there kind of in a little bit protected by the island, but we're out there in the North Atlantic and it's going to be rough, I imagine. And so I would think we're going to have to, put our big boy pants on and strap in for a ride.
I would imagine.
Yeah, which we will. It's going to be a fun one. I don't care if you got to pull me out of the boat and put me in a wheelchair afterwards. It's going to be an experience, and I'm just so appreciative
Exactly.
of the opportunity and the chance that Rob has given both of us. It's amazing. It really is.
It really is a huge experience, a huge chance to do something different. Yeah.
Well, I think it's great that you guys are going overseas to represent all of the guys over here. Sterling Engines, you're representing the business. Joe, you guys have a great team with Lake Wiley. I think it's great. Rob's chose some good guys to take over there to represent the brand here.
Yeah,
sure. I think it's
definitely my boy here.
Yeah,
definitely. But I got another boy. Yeah, another big boy right here. He's much bigger than Garrett.
Hey, just to do the navigating for him, and I'm telling you, he won't want you to back off. I don't care about if it's a gentleman's race or not. He's going to.
Awesome. That's good. Because I've said before, I'll be everybody's buddy in the pits. I love to make friends. I love to be friendly. But man, when we're racing, that's the time to get the teeth and claws out and go hunt. I love competition, so I know you guys do too. I think this is really a match made in heaven. I'm kind of laughing because it says a couple things about Rob. Number one, he's such a super nice guy to offer this, to bring us out. To know that we're kind of same kind of knuckleheads that fit in with his sense of humor, but also that he's bringing, he could have gotten people who are, complete morons who are, not going to really run the boat hard and not give any competition. But I think the fact that he's like, hey, I'll bring somebody who's going to actually be a competitor and come out there and play. Kudos to him. A lot of people would stack the deck in their favor, and he's just like, hey, let's bring some people who can liven it up, and that's awesome. Hopefully, we can do him proud.
Oh yeah, 100%. I mean, so what he gets out of us is morons that are to run the boat for himself. So he's getting
Exactly
the best of both worlds.
So what's the
you really? I
unknown,
think we've got grateful.
what's the biggest unknown factor you guys got going into this? The boat, the water, the navigation, the unknowns.
How do throttles work? A kid, but
what to get for dinner and for breakfast? I don't know how to order, food over there. Is it crazy?
I'm telling you, navigation. They can handle the water because they get thrown into the water all the time.
Yeah.
It's navigation.
Yeah.
I navigate Joe all the time. He's like, "Where am I going?" I'm
He
like,
does
that
not
way.
fucking
That way.
have- he does
I don't
not
know. Go that way.
No.
Yeah, we probably will have to figure out some navigation. I imagine there's some kind of GPS in the boat. We'll get our waypoint markers in and we'll follow the line. I can help set that up. But I do think we'll probably have to pick some waypoints on land and kind of be looking for them. There's so much that's different. We're going to be out of our element. It's going to be, different culture, different, just the day-to-day life is going to be different and throw us off a little bit. The time zone's going to be different. I'm sitting in a different seat than I'm used in the boat. It's going to be huge. And both of us are new to working together. And so, we're friends outside the boat, but we've not, crewed one together. So there's just all along, it's going to be a bunch of challenges, but I think it's going to be fun for every one of us. It's just an adventure. And yeah. Can't ask for more than that. That's what life's supposed to be.
Okay, so I'm very calm and reserved. I don't really talk much in the boat or get pissed off.
He's literally throw stuff in the boat if you're drinking.
You throw stuff? All right, just I'll duck. I mean, I'm big. I probably will get hit, but
Not
just
you.
start throwing stuff.
Joe's not really easy to run with because I'm going to tell you, as long as you think that if you want to be super aggressive, I promise you, he is ready for it. And it's just
Awesome.
going
Awesome.
whether you really thought you were going to get put in there or not. I mean, he wants to be aggressive.
It'll be a
all the
total
time.
surprise. Trust me.
So
Awesome.
Would
Good.
you guys get a chance together to at least go out and test the boat a little bit, get the feel for it?
No,
I hope so. I don't think so, but I think we're going to get in and go figure it out on the fly, which is okay. I think both of us are wired as kind of learners. We'll figure it out. We'll keep pushing the limits. We'll see what we can get away with, and then get after it when it's time to get after it. So, it's an endurance race rather than a sprint. So you don't want to go all out and sort of burn your fuel and blow up your motors in the first 20 minutes. You want to, make sure you're through most of it and then get it hard.
So you're just going to take it easy on the way there is what you're saying to Joe. We're just going to cruise.
I don't know about that, but we're, maybe 80%, 90% instead of 100% all the way out, and then 110 on the last bit.
Probably for the first couple kilometers, and that's it. So remember, we got to talk in kilometers, meters now when we get over there.
Well,
We don't want to tell them all our secrets.
That's what I'm saying. You guys got a lot to learn when you get over there. I thought you'd have some books. Maybe Garrett would be giving you flashcards, Joe.
I think we can baffle them with freedom units. We'll talk freedom units the whole time, and they won't know our secrets.
So, Cade, you touched on something that's pretty big over here: safety. Can you explain the biggest difference to everybody at home for the safety you're going to have to deal with at this race versus what we're afforded here?
So you don't have a crew flying overhead. There's no angel flight. There's no safety boats. You're expected to stop a competitor in distress. So you see a competitor who's in distress, you are required to render it. We had to update our CPR and first aid certifications. We had to update sea survival certifications. And, I'm former Navy guy. They tried to drown me for 4 years back at school and then tried to drown me some more in my aviation survival stuff. So, I'm pretty comfortable and competent in the water, but at the same time, the North Atlantic is really cold. And so that changes the calculus a bit if you end up in the water. So really try to stay with the boat and do the things you need to do, stay dry, stay warm, and help each other out. So try to keep boats afloat. But it's up to you. You have to have a bit of grit and self-reliance and go out there knowing that nobody's coming. You better be able to get yourself out of trouble.
That's right.
So, Joe, in America, we're used to rescue crews coming. How does that make you feel knowing, if you have an accident, God forbid, you got to hope a competitor stops to render aid to you guys if you're in the water?
Yeah, it doesn't really bother me in the least, honestly. I've been in the marine business for many years and I'm a Pisces, so I've been, kind of grown into the water and have been, very adjusted to the water my whole life, especially now being in the marine business, very similar, to Rob. He's on a much bigger scale than I am, of course. So that doesn't bother me in the least. I know Cade and myself will take care of each other. We're going to try our best to keep that thing upright. It's Rob's baby, and we're not going to put a scratch on the thing. But God forbid if something happens, we'll be fine.
Right. Garrett, walk us back to the New Orleans flip. You and Joe in the boat. I mean, what was he? What was that situation like? I mean, speaking of the safety.
Yeah. The safety aspect of it, we felt the boat float up probably one. Like I said, we don't have that much time in the boat. We jumped in Key West last year, and we had about 30 minutes of seat time in that boat or in any cat in the ocean, and that was about it. However, coming off that second place, following Reese and Julian around and Coco.
St. Pete.
No, it was St. Pete. Yeah. And he, I wanted to beat them, and I wanted to beat them pretty bad. And so the course was super easy to figure out in New Orleans. So I knew Joe wasn't going to get lost. And so when we break,
hang on, I'm going to say one thing. I know this navigation, but
I'm kidding.
guys, or any
Joe, I'm gonna give you some sympathy. I get a lot of flack from my navigation too, and the funny part is I know I'm a pretty good navigator, but in the boat it's different. It's just different.
Especially too well out of the boat.
Yeah. So coming into that turn, I was giving the boat all it had, and Joe, was all for it. We had talked about it coming into it, and we took that turn hard, got in front of Julian and Reese, and on the first turn, on the first lap, it should have humbled me real quick, and it didn't. And I'll be the first one to tell you, I felt it. So here comes second lap.
We all saw it at that first lap. Even the announcers thought you were going.
I felt it, and we both said something about it, and we wanted to push it again, and once we broke out in first, me and Joe were both talking to each other still, and by the time that thing picked up, there wasn't anything I could do, and I was actually yelling at Joe to turn the damn boat, and he was like, "I'm turning it." He's yelling at me. We're screaming at each other, and then the thing picks up, and we both said some ridiculous.
The bloody boat. I was turning the bloody boat.
Next thing I know,
So
yeah, this is
These conversations sound familiar.
This is something that Garrett and I have been talking about ever since we, got into, offshore racing. Is that what is it going to be like? It's going to happen eventually.
we discussed that several times.
But with New Orleans, because we love Reese and Julian. Man, those two guys are like they're our bros. But I knew at that point, once we had the setup right for New Orleans, we had the prop right, we had everything correct, that we just had to push it. And we pushed it just a little bit too hard, plus with about a 25 mile an hour side wind, which we all knew was there because a couple hours before the race, I was now talking to the crane operator. Again, because I'm in the marine business, I have cranes and looking at his little, barometer below up there. Asking him what is gussing at, and he was like 28 to 30. So we knew at that point, coming around that turn right there, we needed to be careful.
Yeah, especially those
buildings.
buildings.
And it just it hit us, right in the face. So it's going to happen to all of us. It happened to us. We were able to get out of the boat quickly. The impact was very minimum. People still ask me to this day how to feel, and I said, it was nothing. You know, you just got to get right back in the batter's
very
box and
blessed.
take a swing again and not let it affect you mentally. And matter of fact, Garrett and I, the next morning,
Nobody knows this except for Britt Lilly. Actually, he's the only one that saw it.
he can tell you the story. Go ahead.
So the next morning, we're driving our golf carts back to the pits, and it's morning. There's some morning dew on the grass, and I'm flying around like I didn't just flip a boat that night or that day before, and I power slided into our pits, you know, completely sideways, but it's in the shadows, so the dew is still on the grass. Well, Joe comes following behind me in the sun and locks it up and just throws himself out of the golf cart. And Britt comes around, he goes, "I asked if you guys were okay, but you know, clearly you are." So threw himself out of the trailer.
Oh yeah, it almost hit the trailer,
And you know,
which it wouldn't hurt my head. But
Reese is actually one of the employees of the month here at As the Prop Turns this month for handling Friday's show. But, you know, he said it Friday. It's not a matter of when or if, it's when it's going to happen.
For sure.
And, you know, watching that race, you guys were battling and you let it all hang out. And actually, like, it was almost like the boat was kind of sliding the corner.
It was drifting
away. I tell you what,
and when that it was over.
It was the smoothest turn. You couldn't feel nothing. It was like you were on ice.
That's because the boat never set.
And honestly, I thought we
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's kind of one of the things that I really one of the things I really like about the Cats is, you know, the way that it is completely different. How do you drive it in rough water versus smooth water? When you're in the rough water, you're really kind of pin to pin. You're just sort of drive it, get it to dig when it lands, and then take your jump. You sort of drive it like a trophy truck. Whereas driving on smooth water is much more driving it like a rally car or like a Formula car, where you just got this smooth drift and a bit of rotation as you go through the corner, and it just slides and glides and rotates, and then you're pointed straight again, and off you go. And you just carry so much speed. It's a ton of fun. That corner at New Orleans was really fun.
Oh yeah, and we were the guinea pigs out there because I think we were the first cat.
yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we were learning it too. You know, we tried a number of different corners, a number of different types of ways. So we didn't get it quite as right as you guys did until towards the end. But you know, once we got it right, it was like, you know, the little light bulb goes off, and you go, I got it. That's what I'm looking for. And then we nailed it again. But yeah. You guys looked so pretty there until you didn't. And, yeah. I can't say I would have done it any different. I would have pushed it and then tried to ask for more too. So, you know, it's just great.
It was a beautiful flip, as Donald Trump would say.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
New Orleans, your guys' boat looked great.
It was the best flip. The beautiful flip. Everybody says that flip was the most beautiful flip.
I was saying for about a month, right? If you're not in first, you flip. So actually, I was going to put it on a T-shirt. Yeah. Got to.
Yeah, that's what Adam said. You're not first, you're last. So, do you think you guys ready for this? The today's offshore racer, and you guys handle the 200-mile journey you're going to put on your bodies in this race?
We're going to find out. You know, I mean, yeah. I mean. Obviously we think so, or we wouldn't be going. And we're going to find out just how right or wrong we are. So that's adventure. It's going to be fun.
Well, it's just like, you know, when all the ocean races in Michigan City, as rough as it was there, you know, because Garrett and I, you know, our experience level is slowly growing. You know, it's not where, you know, the other ones are out there. You know, like when we were starting Michigan City, you know, we had Mottlick on our right, and we had Monster on our left. So we were dead in the middle. So we were in between two of the best boats, the best drivers, the best throttlers, the most experienced, probably 50 years of experience right there between us. So you have to adapt pretty quick, you know, which I feel like that we're doing. But, you know, it's just all a learning process.
Yeah.
So, what are you more nervous about, Cade? The race or the unknown?
I'm British food. I'm nervous about British food. No, I'm really not. I mean, the unknown. I mean, I'm an ADD kid, and you know, one of the great things about being an ADD kid is just the love of learning and trying new experiences. You know, it's kind of one of the superpowers. And so, you know, there's things I'm certainly very not good at, but getting new experiences and adapting to them quickly is something I love. And so I'm very excited about all of it. There's really nothing in this that I'm not there's not a lot of trepidation. There's just all excitement, really.
Yeah. Same here. Adapting to new things has always been easy to me, especially when it comes to equipment, cars, trucks, anything that goes fast, boats. Same with Garrett.
Amen.
That's why we were able to.
That's why we're having the three of us have become fast friends at the track, and we have a kinship that.
Right.
Yep.
But it's not only that.
Yep.
Our whole team around us. The boat that we bought from.
Scott
and Edwin that own Platinum. If it wasn't for those guys right there, I mean, and props to those guys. They're great. We love them. Scott and Edwin are first class. We would have never have got into this. We'd have never met you two. We'd have never met Rob. We wouldn't have been involved in such a unique and really cool family. And we love it. We really do. So Scott, Edwin, thank you so much.
Well, and
that's one thing that I think is really neat. One thing I think is really neat and transcends the different kinds of racing is, whether it's motorcycle racing or sport or trophy truck, Baja, rally, offshore, hydroplanes. I think racers have a unique mentality, and we love the competition, but we also love the camaraderie, and it really does become your second family. And I can't imagine my life without my racing family, no matter the discipline. I just love racing, and I love the people around racing. These are my people. And I know, like I said, Joe and Garrett, just fast friends. And I think, they've seen it too. They feel the same. And I see them out there just kicking ass. I mean, they're brand new to this, but they have that ability to learn, and the sense of humor, which lets you take the failures in stride, to be able to have a big, boat flip over. Some people would go, I'm never doing that again, and walk away. And they took it in stride and went, hey, yeah, that's okay. We learned something. Now let's go get back in and do it again. Awesome. That's so cool.
Yeah. So, I can honestly say, I probably maybe lost an hour of sleep over that flip. I've had so many near deaths in my life, worse than that it didn't bother me in the least. And again, use the old baseball analogy, you just get back up, get in the box, take another swing. And you have to, So Garrett and I wanted that boat as quick as possible, after we got it repaired. And it's just like, even this weekend, we had a little children's charity event here on Lake Wiley where we live. And he and I haven't been in the boat in 2 or 3 weeks. And it was just nice putting it in the water.
Just getting in it. Sitting in.
Right. And then just pulling it around to the dock. We really love that. We really do.
What type of charity event was it for kids?
What's that?
What type of charity event for the kids was that?
It's called the Lake Wiley Children's Charity. It's a benefit for sick children here around in the area of Lake Wiley where we live at, and we try to sponsor, a slip and give out T-shirts and stickers and raffle things off and whatnot for the children here.
That's awesome. Excellent. Hats off to you guys for doing that. That's
great. Anything related to the children in our area and the community, we try to participate in, and they love it. We love it. And that makes it all worth it to us. It doesn't really matter. Well, of course, the expense does, but when you make somebody smile like that, especially a child, that really hits you right to home. That's makes.
We're actually looking for trying to get a hold of Make-A-Wish Foundation. We want to partner our platform with them and do some things.
Nice.
So
yeah, right.
Earlier, I was trying to give Scott Grant some credit for hooking us together with Platinum Power Boats. He and I have been talking for months. They've got an incredible product. That 39 Platinum they built. I can't wait to get my hands on it. He's promising me we're gonna do something. So Scott, if you're watching, I'm ready. But what an incredible boat that is.
It's a beautiful boat. I had the great opportunity to drive it in the poker run here on 2-3 months ago with 8 people on board and a full tank of fuel, and it handled unbelievable. I mean, it is a great boat.
I was impressed with the back seats.
Yeah,
I've never in my life seen a cat with back seats that extend and do what his did. That's amazing.
Oh yeah.
So
I mean,
hats off to to platinum.
Oh yeah.
So Joe,
yes, sir.
when this green flag drops, who's going to be more nervous, you or Cade?
Oh gosh.
I don't know how Kate is, but I can tell you, Joe does not care. He wants to.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. If
Awesome. We're going to be great.
You're racing Matchbox cars. Joe just wants to go all the time.
Awesome. We're going to do great then. Yeah, no, I think all the nervousness goes, when you said the green flag drops, I think that's sort of I mean, I'll speak for me. I'm nervous until the green flag drops. When the green flag drops, it's on. That's the fun time. Everything before that is, oh, come on, hurry up, drop the flag. Lined up in the right spot. What are those guys doing? What's going on over here? Once the flag drops, everything outside life washes away, and it's everything, all those worries and fears and frustrations, everything you deal with, and it goes away, and it's just the sound of the engines, what you're doing, the focus on the task at hand. It's like this just tunnel vision, singular focus on go. There's my objective, and I love it. It's zen-like. It's peaceful. It's the best.
It
right.
is.
But with all that being said, Cade, and all due respect to you and your Sterling engines, this is an endurance race. So even when that green flag drops, like you guys said, you don't want to not want to push out to the front right away. You might want to stay mid-pack and run with some other boats. I mean, this is going to be a huge learning curve on the fly.
Yeah, I think maybe, I would say I'd kind of like to stay with the lead, 2, 3, 4, somewhere in there, stay with the lead pack, and then, and close to the lead pack. I don't want to be way back, but I don't necessarily need to be, running up front. I think that's, especially considering these guys all know where they're going and we don't. But I think if we kind of hang back and, there's no real reward for getting to the fuel dock first. And then, so you go get to the fuel dock on the first leg and then turn around and come back, hang with the lead pack. And then when people start to push, now you start to get after it. And at some point you make a break, I think that's kind of the plan, but we probably already said too much because these other racers might be watching and now they know our strategy. So who knows?
Kate, I promise you, I'll do my best navigating and try not to put us in the Straits of Hormuz or something like that.
That's right. Hey, I've out that way. It's been a while. It was 2004 or so, 2003. I've been that way. Yeah. It's good stuff.
So
we're going to have fun, Joe, man. I'm looking forward to this.
Oh, me too.
What are you looking forward to experiencing that you've never experienced here racing?
Well,
man. Yeah.
I always wanted to do an endurance race. I always wanted just to go out there and just let it run because, the races that we've been doing with our factory stock, it goes from 11 laps down to 8, down to 7, down to 5. It depends on Bob T mood and all that other stuff, when we were with IH.
Yes.
but anyways,
yeah.
I'm looking forward just to getting in the seat and then just running and concentrating and just, hitting everything properly, the straight lines. And that's going to be the part that's really going to, make me feel the best. And I'm going to get my most enjoyment out of.
So
I couldn't agree more. I think that's.
Who's going to be the voice of reason?
Do we want that? I don't know if we want a voice of reason on our boat. I think we want.
Well, I can tell you right now.
You guys may want to get Garrett on an earbud and catch him in somehow.
I was planning on calling Joe so that I can actually try to chime in on this and listen in at least for this.
Yeah, everybody that knows me and Garrett, okay, and I'm going to say this right now. He is my voice of reason. He is. Believe it or not, okay? But I'm pretty sure it would be the guy next to me that will be the voice of reason.
I'll try. I'm definitely going to be. I mean, it depends, I guess, at what stage of the race. I may be less reasonable as we get closer to that finish line, and we want to get up to the front.
Rob was going to be on the phone too.
Yeah,
slow the shit down right now. Don't hurt my cougar.
That's right. Yeah, there you go. That Rob is the voice of reason. Do you boys know exactly how much that boat cost? Slow it down.
He's got a long life ahead of her.
Exactly.
Joe, so
That boat is
what's one thing
older
you
than
don't
my
want-
children.
What's one thing you don't want to hear Cade say during the race?
Well, I mean, if he says he's got to take a piss, I'll say, well, just go ahead and let it rip. You know.
Yeah. 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 We try to avoid, hey man, watch this. Yeah.
You can say anything to him he wants. Put it that way.
Yeah.
Once you guys
We're gonna
finally
have fun, man.
strapped into this boat in England, all bullshit aside, you strapped in, you're sitting there. I would assume there's some type of mill where you guys are going to mill together. At what point is it going to hit
Yeah, I
you two
think so.
jokers that, holy shit, we're over here. We're really about to do this?
Yeah, I think when I landed, he.
Pretty badass.
Yeah. I guess if I'm
Yeah. I do wish Garrett was coming along. He's a joker too. He's fun to have around.
Me too. I guess if I'm lucky enough to find my way there, to be there on race day, because I got to get from here to Heathrow, from there take an Uber, from there take a ferry, and then walk like 10 miles or something like that to this island of cows. Cows here, is that what they name of cows?
I have no idea.
It's the Isle of Wight, but Cows is a village. It's a village, not even a town. I guess it's a village. But I'm with you. It's gonna be
Right.
yeah.
All my stress will be gone at that point.
That's why I'm getting there a couple of days early. Is so if I get lost, I'll find my way. I got more time. I'm gonna come in on Tuesday. So no, we are gonna go visit with. Yeah, we're gonna look over the equipment. Partly that too. Yeah, make the wife happy. I don't know if you've ever met Gary Aldington. You should probably do an episode with him. He's a fantastic individual. Really, just a great human being, but just also another one of us. Bit of a joker. He's runs Eastwood, so he's been prepping all of Rob's boats over on that side of the pond. So we're gonna get over there, talk a little bit of business with him. We're gonna help look over some motors and check out some boats. And yeah, Rihanna and Chrissy are gonna get to hang out and have some fun. And yeah, and yeah, if I get lost, I have plenty of time to find my way. So.
Yeah, and speaking of prepping boats, I got to say this real quick. Our crew, when I first bought the boat, we inherited a 22-year-old as a crew chief.
I think he's 23. Give him
He just had his fucking birthday. He's 23 now. He can finally drink. And Garrett, I mean, he comes out looking like Spicoli from Fast Times at Ridgemont High. You know, Drew.
Oh,
Amazing. Just so smart. And if it wasn't for him and Chad Shutter with BRP Marine, his parents, one of the best people, families you'll ever meet in your life. So they crew for us. And if it wasn't for them right there, he and I wouldn't be here right now. You know, that boat would be sitting in my backyard with a big hole in it or something, or sunk somewhere, and I don't know where, you know, but the two right there, you know,
Wiley.
They're the best. We love them to death. And I can't say more. You know, more good things about this.
That's a great point. That kind of shout out, you know, and I'm remiss because, you know, I agree with you. If it wasn't for the people that support the racing, we wouldn't have the racing. So I mean, all my team at Sterling Engines, love them to death. I have really the best team. You know, all the people supporting us on the How to Live crew. You know, it's just, you know, from our crew chief to, you know, we got Troy, we got Burke, we got all the wives helping out. You know, Sarah always on the camera. You know, just if we didn't have, you know, all the support people, Mike and I wouldn't be able to do what we do either. So it's pretty cool.
Yeah, and you know, along with them is our other support cast. You know, our family. You know,
Wendy,
our wives.
And Allison Sullivan manages the team, and she does a great job. And Wendy is always there to help us with whatever the heck we need, and make sure I go to bed when I'm supposed to go to bed.
Good luck with that.
Well, that's what it takes.
Smith, she's wonderful. She's our family. You know, and our whole community supports us, which is really, really, really cool. We've got so many people in our little lake right here that just love Lake Wiley Racing and Garrett and I and what we're doing for the community. Not just for us. It's not just for us. It's for the community also, and all our friends and family. super supportive. If it wasn't for them,
Well, I think
we wouldn't be here.
I think that's huge.
Yeah.
I really do. And I also want to give you a second to welcome your new sponsor. You got a new sponsor.
Yeah. That's awesome. Yeah. Smith's Hauling. We're really excited to have them on board. Joe met them probably about a month ago or so, maybe a little bit more.
They met us in the Keys last year, November, at the boat signing at the street party. And so we didn't, it was hundreds of people there, so we really didn't remember them. But they bought a house on Lake Murray, South Carolina, which isn't far from here. And a good friend of ours, Brett and Allie, that runs the poker run, the dam run on Lake Murray, they got their ears while we were, I think, in Lotto. They were watching the race at a bar there, and with Steve and Christy, his wife, and they're like, "You need to sponsor these guys." And then we met them, and they were like, "You know what? We've been following y'all. We love y'all's energy, what y'all do, and everything else. We just really want to meet you to make sure that you were like really real people and not just like putting on a show for the cameras or." For the people out in the crowd when you do the boat signing. And they saw quick after, several drinks and a few shots that we were real people.
That's big into it because I'll say, like, sometimes, Joe and I, we joke around a lot. We have fun with what we do. We've always done that. And that might not be perfect for every sponsor out there.
Right.
But for these guys, I mean, we connected and they go out and they hang out with us. Like we're normal friends to them. They have a good time with us. They enjoy it. We sat down and had dinner with them, and instantly, when I knew I could be myself, I was like, oh, this is so perfect for us.
Well, he knew he could be himself after like the third or fourth drink and shot that he was doing. So.
Yeah. One thing that I really like about you guys, and I think I said this when you announced your sponsorship, something to this effect, is that a lot of and I give this advice to other young guys getting started in racing, and to how do you get sponsorship? Well, it's not just the sticker on the side of the vehicle, right? It's who you are and what you bring to the table that helps your sponsor. And you guys bring so much more beyond the racing to your sponsor. You bring your personalities, you bring your energy. In your case, you bring your love for your community, and so it's part of what draws people to you. And it's part of why I've found friendship with you. And so I think they did really well to sign up to help you guys, and likewise.
Oh yeah. And trust me, it was a big help. Obviously, the financial part, taken off my back to a degree, and focus more on, racing and making my skill a little better along with this guys too, and then keeping us upright and competitive,
Yeah.
So
teaching you guys that it's not a plane, it's a boat.
I still remember that.
We tried to do the same. We're trying not to learn that lesson. We stood it on end ourselves a couple times the last one, so it happens.
So you guys got a fan out here. Some guy, I don't know if anybody knows a JJ Turk, but anyway.
Yeah.
He's looking for the bucket.
JJ!
The bucket and the explosive
A little bit there.
So
yeah, Jason's great.
He wants to tell the bucket and the explosive story.
Oh God. There's a video.
Yeah.
I wasn't in my right mind. Okay, first of all, this was
which is 90% of the time.
We were having a party one night, and this the first one of these I had ever seen, and Joe has this big old streak of fire going across the beach here at the house, and there's a bucket laying on the ground, and then the fire goes out and nothing happens, and I had about 15 rumble mints already before then, and so I was like, okay, maybe there's a mortar underneath there, and you need to lift the bucket so it can get some oxygen. Well, it was an
he knew what it was.
No, I didn't.
Yes, you did.
I didn't even know how to spell cat. And so
you knew what it was before the cat.
So I go over and I lift the bucket up. Well, it was an oxygen acetylene bomb, and it blew my hand off. The concussion was so bad it blew my butt cheeks. Like it blew blood vessels in my butt cheeks out. I mean, it was bad. So they poured some Rumple on top of my leg, and then I kind of went to the next party, and that's when Wendy and Allie forced me to go to the hospital, to the emergency room, and the lady asked how much did he have to drink, and they said, well, that's not the problem. The problem is his leg. And I said, the problem is the sooner I can get out of here, the sooner I can go back to drinking with my friends. Okay, don't worry about my legs. So Joe was fine with that bucket. I mean, 150 yards the other direction. I mean, there's a video that goes with it. It about blew my hand off.
I was never in the military, but because I'm a pyrotech, engineer. I've got a degree somewhere. Hang on, I'll find it for you. But I love blowing up shit, and literally he almost lost his leg and his butt cheeks along with it.
Hey, so I was talking to some guys last week, and I don't know if you guys how you felt at Michigan City, the street parade. If we were doing a street parade in Michigan City, would Friday nights be a better night for your guys' setup?
Yeah, because we didn't even make it. We were the last ones to get craned out, and by the time we got our boat loaded on our trailer, they had already almost completed the street parade.
Yeah.
Wow.
I don't know why they didn't do it on Friday.
And we let people sign our boat, so that would have been great for us to park it somewhere, have the fans come over and interact with us, sign the boat. Like we as our team, we always look forward to the street parade, interacting with people and letting them come and touch the boat and write their names on it. Or, it's just really cool for the kids. And it was kind of discouraging when we were getting craned out. And I'm like, well, there goes that.
Yeah.
Well, good news is they're working on it. I know Jack Arnett's listening to all you guys, and they're already working on next year's schedule, man. It's amazing what his team does. Scott, Chelsea, Amy, Dan, Robbie, all the guys, Chris. I mean, there's so many on their team, but they're already gathering notes and doing things, and these are some of the questions they've been asking. So, now that I'm working with them a little bit, I wanted to throw it to you guys. Cade, how would you feel Friday night street party?
I mean, if it was this year, we probably wouldn't have made it because we were dealing with mechanicals. But I think it probably would be a good thing in general because it lets you get it out of the way and get refocused on the racing. I think the big thing, I really love that Michigan City truly put on a proper, welcome. They really rolled out the red carpet. That was great. I mean, obviously we're disappointed by the weather this year. Nothing to be done for that. Just can't do a lot. I would love to see advertising a little further afield. Here I am and I'm Michigan based and, Michigan City's right across the border and really nobody local knew what was even going on. So I would love to see some additional advertising. You get some of the locals a little further afield to come out to Michigan City. It'd probably be good for the city itself to get all the extra tourist revenue. But other than that, I think it was a ton of fun.
Yeah, definitely was. I was very impressed with the
VIP was
with the way RWO set it up in the VIP and the city and everything else. I just felt terrible that Sunday was a wash. It just kind of like we go back to Sheboygan, same thing with that city right there. They were just wanting that race so bad, for a lot of reasons. And I feel that didn't work out because I wanted to do that for that city right there.
And we went up there on Friday. I'll tell you what, I was impressed with the amount of people in Sheboygan that still came to the street.
Oh, okay. Nice.
15 food trucks, they had a live band, they had a car show, over 150 cars. It was great.
Right. Super unfortunate for those.
Oh, that's
people.
awesome.
They planned on all of that coming there, and like Kluat said, he got a message from somebody that, they had bought stuff for their business specifically for the race to come there. Now they bought all this extra stuff and they don't know whether that could really be detrimental to a small business. And I really feel for those people go through that.
Yeah.
Well, there's a lot of teams that got logos on their jerseys. They don't need anymore too. So again,
we're one of them.
Well, it goes us too. With as the prop turns with all of it, we're trying to make everybody happy, right? But it goes back to the racers, the guys doing all the work. They're left holding the bag. And in this case, there's not even a sorry.
Yeah.
So.
Well, it was when. You probably. I don't know. I know Joe was. I know Joe was there at the meeting when they started telling us. They were Sheboygan was for sure a go and all this, and And I asked the question, how does IHRA see the racers? Are we the product or are we the customer? And their answer was, we're both. And the trouble is, you can't really, it's too much of a shared business model to do that, to say, hey, we're going to make our money off, setting up the race event and hosting the racers and all that. That's one business model. It's a good business model. It's, the track day, we got everybody's going to show up for the track day and they're going to run and we're going to collect our fee and go home. But the bigger business model is us as the product, where they've got to get the the cameras on us and the helo cam, and they've got to sell the stories about the racers behind the pits and the paddock. But you get in the way of that if the racers are also the customer. So you've got two competing customer bases, and IHRA just they didn't figure that one out, I think, in time. And then on top of it, of course, all the financial stuff behind the scenes didn't help. So I think they were operating already with a bit of a flawed business model. Along those same lines, I do one thing that I would really like to see RWO improve would be the television stuff. They need a spectacle. They need to bring the circus to town, right? And when you look at the online, the televised footage really was lacking compared to IHRA, and we've known that. And that's not to say that added RWO or they're a bad organization or anything. It just means it's something that needs to improve. And I think we'd all like to see that, and that will only increase the fan base and just provide accessibility.
I'll give you an insider point of view because I'm talking to all of these guys. Larry and Roderick, everybody at RWO, they're working on it. They're working on production.
Yeah.
They're working with some really good people. And I think there'll be some news in Clearwater about some of these things. And I think everybody on the race teams will be pleasantly surprised at what they're trying to do. But again, it takes a lot of effort, takes a lot of money, it takes a bigger crew of people, cameras, obviously. But it's all things they're working on. And I think if all the race teams keep showing the unity and the love like they did at Michigan City, and those almost 80 teams, I think it was, that showed up, and even a couple that didn't bring a boat but came to support. And Vinny was there with his guys, and I think it just shows that everybody's trying to come together and really make this series what it could be, right?
I mean, we're still working on details, but I talked to Larry about, hey, how come nobody offers contingencies anymore? Maybe Sterling can be the first to say, hey, we'll step up and offer some contingencies. And, it would be small, but it would be something. And if we can offer something to help the racers, maybe more people will step up and offer a little something. And enough people step up and do that, then maybe it makes it takes some of the sting away of all the costs of a weekend. And so we can maybe hopefully lead the way in doing that. But we'll see. I got to figure out. Larry and I are talking all the terms of that and what it would look like. But he's open to it. He's excited about it. I know we are. So I think something like that we're going to be working on for next season. Hopefully, other businesses will do the same, and that will be one way of sort of, I'd say, the racers sort of leading the charge on what we want to see.
You're right, and that's great because Damon and Mike over at Fuel One, they're doing the same thing, and they're bringing a proposal that puts Fuel One in as our fuel sponsor, which is going to make fuel prices less, is what I'm told, and they're going to come over and fill your boat right where it sits in the pits, so you don't have to go anywhere.
That would
be awesome.
Well, I'll tell you what, David and I had the chance to sit and talk in the hospital, and their plan, they've got a plan, and it's amazing. I mean, what he showed me, and hopefully we're going to get with them soon in the next few days, and we're going to have him and Mike on, and we're going to talk about it, and I'll let him tell the people the plan, because I think it's a really good one, saving the racers money, saving you time, convenience. I mean, those are all.
That's value. That's good. That's good business sense. Bring extra value for similar pricing, and why wouldn't we? Right. That's awesome.
Well, along with Andrew and Ari's help, the group right there, y'all are familiar with them, that is headhunting this thing for RWO. They're 100% dedicated to this, and we got to be right behind them also, to bring the revenue and to bring the sponsors in, to bring the money in. And that's the only way this thing is going to grow like it used to be back in the 80s and the 90s. And we were all thinking that IHRA was going to be that saving grace there, but of course they show their ass. But RWO has every positive possibility there, to be that company, that promotion company out there, to turn this thing around, to bring it to mainstream TV, get into a time slot there with ESPN or CBS or somebody like that. And with a couple of guys behind them right now, behind the scenes that are going out there and trying to get the big money to opened everybody's eyes up to this thing. So we're not watching pickleball and pillow fighting on Sundays, and we can be watching offshore racing.
Yeah. I do think, and this isn't a slight on RWO at all, but I think one thing, when you have longstanding organizations like that, I think one thing that will be a challenge for them is organizational inertia. They've done it a certain way for so long that now the world has kind of moved on, and they're finding that they're going to have to adapt their business model, and they're going to be more aggressive in what they do, and they're going to have to go up for more.
Absolutely.
And that's hard to get over the whole, we used to do it this way and this has been successful for us and now we have to change because why? But if they can get over that, I do think they have shown that they truly understand the spirit of the racers. They have shown that they really do care about us. There's just some things that get fixed. And I know that they want to work on it, and just they got to get past our organizational inertia to resist change, to figure out how and why and when, get all the details in, right? So I think they can do it. I'm hopeful.
Well, you're right, and I think as long they just need to stop worried about the other guy, because that's all over with, and focus on what they've got going forward. And they released that schedule in Michigan City for all you guys. I think that's huge.
That was
awesome. And then John Marie getting
huge.
up there and talking to UIM, and I think that whole international package can really bring something to all the teams. And what a great cast of characters all of the teams are. I mean, there's so many great families and personalities.
We have trophies along the. We have trophies along the wall in the shop going back to the 90s with UIM World Championships. I love that we're partnered with UIM. I think it's a historic organization. I love that if we're going to crown a world champion, well, we better be racing with the world's best. So I think that's awesome. I love seeing what they're doing. I think it was a really good move when they did it. Obviously, they were doing it in response to a major. What would you say? It was sort of a massive, a threat to their own existence. But they responded well and said, "Hey, no, we're strengthening our position. We're partnering with UIM. We're going to get a lock on Key West, make sure that is going to be us, and we're going to go to the world stage." Awesome, good move. Kudos to them.
Well, yeah, definitely. But we need to look at this thing on a different level too. Us teams out there, the classes out there, we're the product. We're the one that, let's say, sells the tickets. Okay, we're financing, this whole thing for entertainment purposes. It's not just, to me, it's not just about a hobby. It's not about having fun once a month. It's a business to me. Okay, so I treat everything kind of like a business. And now that we have all our class presidents in line, even though that Garrett and I are so new at this. Back in December, after the Keys, I knew immediately what this community of offshore racing needed. We need to get everything under one roof, one umbrella, kind of like every other major sport out there. NFL, baseball, basketball, hockey. They all have players associations. We need to do the same thing with us and get everything unified under one umbrella. So we can kind of dictate our future and where we want to go with this thing, and make it work from that end. We all want to go out there and race. We all want to go out there and have fun. But if we unify it under one umbrella, union, for instance, something like that, then I think it would really make a lot of the other companies more honest out there. It would push RWO into a direction to where they need to change their ways, which they're doing that now. But that would really, give that little nudge there. If we say, okay, this is our terms. If we're going to come and race at your event, this is what we want. This is what, we as your product, is requiring. If we don't do that, then, it'll never get, fixed properly like it should, like it can, just like any other major sport.
Well, like I said, with
the competition for
City and the people that are working on the performance part, as you mentioned, Andrew and Ari, they've got a great group of people. Ari's son is Jonathan. He's the kid's smart as heck, man. 18 years old. Great talking to him. They've got some really exciting things planned. And I think, Larry, Roderick, all the folks over at RWO, they're excited. Dana Potts, APBA, everybody working together. And again, the teams really showed up in Michigan City.
Yeah.
There was teams there that I'm not going to say which ones I heard weren't coming, but man, they were all there. Everybody showed up, even the ones that I was told, oh, they're not coming, they're not bringing this, they're not bringing that. No, they're here. They're all here.
You know, we all want to race.
Yeah,
We have fun. We all want to get in that cockpit, you know, and have that moment. You know, although it doesn't last very long when you're out there. You know, but in my opinion, we need to treat this thing more like a business. You know, for us teams out there that's dumping hundreds of thousands of millions of dollars into a so-called hobby. You know, which to me is more of that, more than that, than a hobby.
My accountant, Joe, just to be fair, my accountant told me if my business loses money more than 3 years, it is a hobby.
Yeah.
So
very true. Yeah. Or you're not.
Yeah. You know, I think one thing that's kind of relevant is, the competition for eyeballs is more now than it has ever been, right? We're no longer just competing against, let's say baseball, football, hockey kind of stuff for viewers on a Sunday. We're competing against YouTube videos. We're competing against influencers. We're competing against so many different ways that people can get their media. So it has to be, can we make it relevant to the audience? Can we make it exciting? Can we get it in front of as many people as possible? Because then the dollars will follow, the sponsors will follow, and that goes to the racers too, and that helps us get out there and promote the sport. And I think Joe's right. We've got to find a way to help, push the sport to that sort of a level where racers can't afford to play. We've got to.
I think
if we can't,
all on your way to doing it. Like I said, I think you're all on your way to doing it. So listen, I got a closer question here on this whole cows turquoise. So Finn's crew, as you guys know, became a Class 1 world champion in 1992. How cool would it be, and how much would it mean if you guys could actually go over there and win this thing?
Man, I generally try not to think about that until after the fact, but obviously it'd be super cool. But I think we're going to just go try and have some fun, and if we can get near the front, awesome, and if we can win it, even more awesome. But that's just the way I approach it. I try not to look stupid first, and then we can actually do well. Awesome.
Hey, looking stupid is going to Key West last year. Me and this guy right 10 minutes of time in that damn Doug Wright that we love. Okay, love the Doug Wright.
Yeah, yep.
That ass boat. And then around 90 other teams that we were like, damn, we're actually here. We were spectators for years. Here. So we had, we were on the main stage there and had every opportunity to do stupid. Okay, and we pulled it off, and we did. God, so I can tell you one thing: we're going to go over there, and we're not going to look stupid. We're going to go over there. We're going to run our ass off and do all we can to win that.
Hell yeah. Well, I'm with you, man. Dude, there's an old Teddy Roosevelt, was it Teddy Roosevelt? Anyway, it's The Man in the Arena, old poem. But yeah, I think just the fact that we have the ability to be in the arena and in the competition is already just so much. To build a life like that and to see things that other people don't either dare to do or have the opportunity to do or put themselves in the position to have the opportunity to do. I think we're very blessed in the one sense, but also, bold enough to take advantage of the opportunities in front of us. It's a pretty freaking awesome thing to be able to be in the arena and say we did that, no matter how the result ends up. I think that's pretty badass. And obviously we're going to go for a number one result.
Unbelievable opportunity.
I mean, hell, we are Americans.
Of course, it would be, a beautiful thing if we can take the checker flag, but just the experience and the opportunity, and the chance that Rob gave us, to do this is right there.
Oh, yeah.
I can rest good with that.
Mm-hmm.
If I don't drive a boat ever again,
Amen.
It actually wasn't bullshit, man.
Thank you, Rob. Thank you, Rob. Thank you, Chrissy. Thank you, all the people putting the work in. This is awesome.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Joe, I am so stoked to see you over there. The only bummer part is Garrett's not joining us. So yeah. Got to drag you along next time, buddy.
I'll be in your.
Oh yeah, he will.
I think he picked a couple great guys. I think you guys are going to do fantastic. We're all going to be cheering for you. I know everybody will be. Even a couple of your hater fans might cheer for you. and
We
you
got
guys over there and put it in the best show you can, because I know no matter how you finish, you're both still winners in our eyes. You've been chosen, and to be chosen by Rob Lockyer to go do this and compete in a boat that he's spent so much time and love and worked on. I just think that speaks volumes about who you guys are as the men you are.
Absolutely. Yeah, and as far as absolutely on all of that, and on as far as the haters, since we're going to Britain, I'll reference one of my favorite. That's Jeremy Clarkson's response to the haters is, "Oh no." Anyway, so,
right.
Just
if you don't have haters, you're not doing it right.
Yeah, exactly. Oh no. Anyway.
Can I
Yeah.
Right, one more second, please.
Oh shit.
Go ahead.
Okay, did y'all ever get paid in full
For
anything?
IHRA stuff?
Yeah.
Oh no, I don't think we did. Yeah, that's all a Mike thing. He's on the finance side. I'm just driving the boat.
Keep pounding. I think Kluak got his money.
Well, you know why he did? My God.
Yeah. Nobody was going to get any Dumbo next year if he didn't get his money. So
you guys aren't the only ones. I got a good friend over in the IHRA, Joe Haas, and his dad Joey, or Joe and Joey. They posted today. They're owed like $50,000 too. So whole bunch of guys out there left holding the bag.
Shameful.
And it's a shame.
It's shameful.
It really is, because they came out and tried something, but they didn't fulfill the promise. I don't know, class action lawsuit down the road, all you racers. I don't know. But
I hate to say it, but here's the thing. I want to give grace to people make a mistake and they miss the boat, right? Hey, you try something, you it. Hey, that happens. That's human. But they didn't own it. They didn't step up and say, look, we screwed this up, or hey, we ran out of money, or hey, they just shut up and then they stopped paying people and they stopped doing what was right. I have
in Lotto, when they had that so-called owners right next to 6 mill-ass porta-johns, and that little fucker, excuse my language, was up there, I knew he was full of shit. But yeah, the class action thing, that's where we need to go. And matter of fact, I know a good attorney that could handle that for us.
Well, I think all you teams might have something to look at there. Let's clear up that little effort you said that was up there. Was that it started with a D and ended with an F?
Yes.
Right.
So anyway, listen, again, they tried something. Hats off for that, but you're right. The way that it ended, that's just dirty. You got to pay your bills. So
you try and you failed and admit you hate tried you failed, but don't just try to cover it up and screw everybody along the way. We'll
leave it at that.
Cowardice.
Listen, again, you guys are going overseas. Garrett, I know you're not making the trip, but Cade, Joe, you guys be careful, because again, the safety over there is.
I think we've already told you we're not going to be careful. We want to protect the boat, but I don't think we're too worried about ourselves right now. So we want to go have fun.
Rob may give some last minute instructions, and he may have the throttle limiter on there you're not aware of. So,
not if I have anything. I get to look over the boat.
At some point, if something happens, do I save Cade or do I save the cougar?
I can swim pretty good. Get the cougar up to be safe.
Put the mask
save
on.
The cougar. I'll be all right.
Save the cougar.
yeah, I'll be all right. Well, you already told me sing and you don't float well, so.
Well, I sink quick.
Yep.
All right. So I appreciate you guys coming on the show. I need to give a shout out to Leanna Dima Bikini. If you need uniforms made, cool shirts, stuff like this, man, hit her up. Amazing turnaround time, amazing pricing, amazing.
That's good to know, because I'm still trying to figure out for my next shirts how to turn something into a damn vector file.
I thought you were going to say you were going to get a bikini, Garrett.
Yeah,
maybe
I have a few of those. Don't worry.
But yeah, she's got products made in America. It's great. Also want to thank Ultrasonic Cleaning Machines. I want to thank Michigan City LaPorte, and I want to thank Rick Lindsay, the Sky Boss at X Insurance, for all you've done.
Yeah.
And Fuel One.
Rick's been great.
Our brand new sponsor with Starlink.
Absolutely.
I got a message from Damon today. He said FedEx will be dropping her off Thursday. So we're excited, because I live in the boonies. I got another place even deeper in the boonies. And as you guys know, Cade, especially, you know, I believe you're using Starlink tonight.
Oh, yeah.
It's tough out in these remote areas. So we want to make sure we're coming crystal clear. So again, thanks to Mike and Damon at Fuel One. Man, we appreciate it. We were humbled by that message Saturday morning. So with that being said, you guys need to give a shout out to any sponsors you want to thank.
We're just rolling with Smith's Hull, and we're glad to have them on board. I mean, they've been totally awesome. Obviously, BRP, they've been there for us since day one. So, but we're really excited to work with our new sponsor and bring that all to the table. And we actually got some big things coming. We got the boat being wrapped in the next week or so, and Lake Wiley Racing is about to get a whole new look. So, check us out.
Awesome.
Yep.
Well, we're excited to see that, Cade. We're excited to see you in Clearwater. I know you got a big trip before that, but the How to Live fans will see you in Clearwater.
Absolutely. Yeah, we're looking forward to that one. Very much so.
All right. Well, again, you guys be safe. Everybody, thanks for tuning in. If you like what we're doing As the Prop Turns, please share the channel. Maybe get you a 99-cent subscription. It'll help us keep the lights on. Until the next time,
absolutely.
Hug the ones you love because tomorrow's not promised. And let's all keep saying a prayer for my buddy Bones. Everybody have a great night.
Will do.
Thank you,
Thank you.
Take care, everybody. Talk soon, y'all.